Welcome back, angels, to the Sensing Self podcast. I am so excited to dive into today's topic. I teased it last week, and some of you were messaging me telling me how much it resonated. And today's episode is truly the next layer to what we have been discussing. If you haven't listened to the past 2 episodes, I highly recommend getting back and tuning in, as they provide important context for what we are about to get into. Today's topic is all about how to stop holding energy. This is for those of you who know you come home after being in a public place with other people's energy stuck to you and it drains you. In today's episode, I'm going to explain why this happens and how to make it stop. One thing that I hear the most with empaths when they're struggling with other people's energy sticking to them is, how do I turn the switch off? And I totally understand that mindset. But what I want to explain today is that it's less about turning it off and more about knowing your edges, which means understanding where your energy stops and other people's energy begins. If your energy was a house, your edges would be your walls and doors. You need to be able to know your energy and your edges so well that when a stranger walks in through your front door, you don't just blindly welcome them in. Most empaths struggle with holding energy, which is experiencing a blurring of those edges. The doors and windows to their house are always open. So when a stranger or visitor comes into their home, they think they need to feed and clothe and house whoever enters, but that gets chaotic fast. The solution is not just closing all the windows and doors or shutting the world out. The solution is developing the skill to know when someone enters your home or your energy and know when something feels off. Then, furthermore, being able to get back to baseline, which means making your home feel like you again. So here's the key struggle for empaths that I see. They're stable in calm environments and destabilized in overstimulating places. They're clear when they're alone, but they're confused in group settings. Confident one day, questioning the next. This inconsistency creates openings in their energy and in their aura. This happens because boundaries are blurred. They've learned how to cope, but not how to lead and hold their own energy. Then they start holding the energy of others. Coping might make you feel like you can handle it for some time. You might take Epsom salt baths or ground yourself outside or even do energy protection meditations, which are all very good things. But learning to lead and hold your own energy requires leadership, and leadership requires capacity. Coming back to the house analogy, if your house doesn't have the capacity for all the people, all the energy you have in it, the foundation will cave in, right? So how much energy can you hold? Do you know? And how do you train that capacity? That's the kind of work we do in depth in the Sensing Self method, but it truly all comes down to leadership. So here are the 4 key things to know with this kind of leadership. Number 1, do not confuse regulation with authority. This is so common, and it's not that it's wrong or bad, it's just that it's only the beginner version. Regulation is the process of using calming techniques to help you feel better, but authority and regulation are 2 very different things. Authority helps you lead. You can regulate your nervous system and still avoid visibility, meaning you can get yourself to feel calm but still struggle to stay in your power and hold your own energy. You can keep yourself calm and still shrink in rooms that you're meant to shine in. You can stay calm and mind your business, but still hesitate when you know you should speak. Regulation stabilizes the body. Authority stabilizes the field around you. It's what defines those edges. It's what allows you to close the doors and the windows to the home of your energy. Those two things are not the same skill. Regulation says I can return to calm. Authority says I can hold my energy in this environment without losing myself. Most empaths stop at calm. They don't train influence. They don't train precision under pressure. They don't train staying embodied when someone challenges them. That's why holding on to other people's energy happens. Regulation helps you feel better. Authority makes you become better. So, number 2, do not avoid high charge environments. Once empaths learn their calm and happy places, they tend to stay there. And I totally get this one. I'm 100% like that. But if your system is never challenged, it never strengthens. So it's important to push yourself a little outside of your comfort zone and learn how to hold your edges, even in the presence of others. In the Sensing Self method, we have drills and practices that train you to do this without overwhelming you, so that eventually, if you decide to speak on stages, lead workshops, or work with others, your leadership as an empath will come natural to you. Remember, if you want to learn more about the Sensing Self program, take a peek at the link in the show notes or use the link in my bio in Instagram. Number 3, do not attach yourself to a label. It's one thing to feel energy and emotions of others, but do not become it. You're not the house, you're the experience the house gives to those in it. You're not the weather outside of the plane, you're the experience of the plane moving through the weather. When being sensitive, highly perceptive, or feeling everything becomes who you are, it stops being a skill that you try to train, and you want your sensitivity to be a leadership skill because skill can evolve and grow. The moment you shift from I am sensitive to I am developing my sensitivity as a leadership skill, growth takes off. Energy holding happens when we think we are the house instead of being the experience the house gives to those in it. Okay, number 4, do not resist precision. This one creates a lot of pressure for those who feel so much because they know exactly what to say at exactly the right time to someone, but they're afraid of being wrong. They are afraid of being off, saying the wrong thing, and unintentionally hurting someone. And that, again, just goes to prove that you are a kind-hearted person. But precision creates evidence that make people believe again. When you know exactly what to say, how to say it, and when to say it, you can create massive transformation for those who are meant to hear you. Precision is trained, it is not automatic. And when you're holding your energy back out of fear of being wrong, you're often at risk for holding some of other people's energy too. In the Sensing Self method, we practice leadership skills that allow you to understand your energetic edges. You'll learn how to go from managing energy to directing energy. Most empathic people ask, how do I turn this off? Those of you ready to use your gifts for good, ask, how do I use this skill to help others? That shift changes everything. In the Sensing Self method, we also cover how to go from protection to containment. Protection assumes threat. Containment assumes stability. Protection says, I need to shield myself, and containment says, I can hold this without collapsing. That shift alone changes your entire baseline. You move from being defensive to being stable. In the Sensing Self, you'll also learn how to go from being emotionally aware to being a highly perceptive leader. Awareness is knowing when you're triggered. Authority is staying embodied while someone else is. Authority means you can detect distortion, name it internally, stay regulated, choose your response, and maintain energetic edges without collapsing, without over explaining, without withdrawing. This is the type of work that we do in the Sensing Self method, and most people never train this layer because they don't know how. But I will break it down for you in the program. So if you want to learn more or if you want to join, be sure to check out the link in the description. If you know that you struggle with other people's energy sticking to you, I want you to remember this episode. Come back to it anytime you need. Share it with your friends or family members that you know need to hear this. And some of you listening, you've reached the edge of self-guided growth. And growth beyond that edge requires structure. It requires precision. It requires intentional training. Sensitivity will continue expanding. Your perception will continue deepening. The question is, will your capacity expand with it? Will your containment grow with your awareness? Will your authority develop alongside your regulation? Because that's the next step for so many of you listening. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope to catch you back here again next week for another episode of the Sensing Self podcast.